So we were in a cave, and we killed the smelly thing, or the thing that was in the smelly goo, and we skinned it. That happened a long time ago. And then we decided to leave the cave and go back to turn in the crown. And we were leaving the cave, and Tabarin realized that we were being followed, and it turns out we were being followed by a cat person. And I think we've kept it. And I'm really unhappy about this. But the cat person gave us a necklace that was green and gave Tabarin a necklace, and I think he's keeping it because he just keeps things. And maybe he's an orc dressed because he has a tattoo on his hand of some torches or something. And now we're going to sleep, I think. And I think we've kept the cat, and I'm really unhappy about the cat. I don't want to sleep with the cat. The end.
Yep, that's pretty much what happened. So Tabarin puts on the necklace. And
he's about to disappear, isn't he? That's what happens when he puts stuff on. He disappears.
No, he doesn't disappear.
Oh.
As after he puts it on, he kind of goes blank for a second, and then, how do I find you? He just comes out of this vision and just says, how do I find you? And then realizes he just said that out loud.
It's not hard, I'm right here.
Who are you looking for, Tabarin?
No.
Druid and Ash.
And how is it
Yeah.
that our first reaction to finding anything related to our quest is, hey Tabarin, put this on?
Describing that as our first reaction may be a bit misleading. That it's Tabarin's first reaction.
I think Druidanash is dying, and he's requested that I seek him out.
Who is he?
Yeah, or what?
I think he might be a god of Earth?
Because those just die.
Phew. I was really afraid you
Well,
were going to say cats.
They do, actually, Harbeck. That's sort of the problem, and the whole world-ending thing.
Why did
that we're
anyone
trying to
bother
deal with.
worshipping these things if they just die?
Well, they don't just die. They're dying because there were other
You
gods
worship
that
Breed,
went all
and
bad
he's
and killed
nearly
them.
died several times.
Brieg will never die.
Also, Harbeck, have you actually started formally? That's really not okay. I thought we've talked about this.
Brieg, as soon as... Right, feel uncomfortable. That's what we do.
I'm not... So what you're saying is that Druidanash is another victim of Tiamat and Kurtlemak and company, Sarath. Or at least, is that a logical conclusion to jump to?
Yeah, all I know is Druidanash.
Did you say Earth? I thought that the cat stole the firebox.
The box
I
had
really
a
thought there
fireball
was
trap
fire
on
in
it.
there.
That doesn't mean it was fire aligned.
That's why they gave it
Right, but
back.
It seemed like such an easy jump that would be the fire one, what with all the explosion and burning.
Right. But
If you're a wizard and you're putting a trap on a box because you've got a thing in it, do you necessarily align the trap with the thing?
Well, I would, I've got a thing for thematic traps.
What would an earth trap even be? Like, put some mud on you.
Maybe it swallowed
No, I
rock.
think
Remember that time when Tabarin fell into a puddle of mud and came back? He was like, I went home. That was weird.
that's
Right,
where we
and-
need to find
It could have
We
like
need to
petrified you
find
or
the
something.
place that has this dirt. And I pull the necklace out and it says, I don't know how to get here, but this is where we need to go.
That's
And
a
the
necklace.
That's a necklace.
I open it up and I tell them to smell the dirt and say, we need to find the place that smells like this.
You have a necklace full of dirt?
You have a necklace
does have a necklace
full
full
of
of
carrots?
Wait,
I at least
How am I
got a
supposed
tattoo.
to remember what all the dirt I've ever smelled smells like? Is
I
this
thought the
really
dwarves
how you
could, like,
locate
sense-
places where you come from?
You
Are you
remember what
from
every
Carrot Land?
beer
Hey, what's
you've
your
ever smelled
address? We'll
smells
just
like?
smell this dirt.
Just apply this. Can't you just apply your
dwarves?
beer memory to
Hunter
dirt?
needs to sleep. Somebody find Harbeck in bed, and we'll find the smelly dirt
She could get
some
us
other
there.
time because I can't. It's not.
I really thought that dwarves had some like sense with the stone. You could put your hand on the dirt and feel where it came from, or something like that.
I mean,
Are you
sometimes I
just
smell
believe
like a
everything anyone tells you?
I'm pretty sure that's something a druid like.
You think if I put my beard in a river, I can use it to catch fish?
I'm
That
relatively
would be
certain I've seen that
amazing.
happen.
Did you have hooks in your beard? Maybe.
He just said, "Here, fishy."
Do you think we'll reproduce with spores? It's not. I mean, you just believe everything.
Come on, to get in the boat, fish. Come on, to get in the boat, fish, fish.
Right.
What
I
just
think we all
happened,
need to
Amy
get some
Games,
sleep.
is we went momentarily crazy. Okay, so whatever it is that means for our future, it's apparent from this conversation that our short-term goal should be finding a bed to sleep in. So, do you have a name to the cat?
If we name it, we have to keep it.
That's not how
I'm
names
not
work.
naming it. I'm
Might do.
asking. Maitu.
No, might do.
Might do.
That's an
You
interesting
might
name.
have a cat. You might have a name, or is that your name?
I might have a name.
It's nice to meet
Do you
you.
know what
Might
it is?
do.
Would you like to share it with us,
Bedtime.
or should I call you Little One?
It doesn't matter. I've
All right,
done what
little
I
one.
had to do.
Thank you.
We
And with
appreciate
that,
it.
the little cat person takes off towards the dwarven settlement. Fast as her little legs can carry her.
Would you
Goodbye,
like to try?
Tabby?
Bye. Might do. All right. Well, let's go find your bed.
Continuing on towards the dwarven settlement, I imagine.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You travel the last 40 minutes. This area of the road of the cave system is well patrolled by the guards from the dwarven city, so you run into no issues. Probably stumble across a patrol on the way into the city. You get back into the city with no stress, no dramas. They remember who you are, and you head back to the inn that you initially left from, I guess.
It occurs to me that
Yeah.
Maitu has been trying to give us this necklace for literally weeks, and we are that bad at perception checks.
Only like 4 sessions,
It-
okay?
It
And
occurs to me that she could have been more obvious about it if she was trying to return it.
Well, she was scared of
She
you.
wasn't trying very hard.
she was scared.
Considering your initial reaction was, "I'ma shoot it," maybe she had good reason to be hesitant.
I sleep sometimes.
It's okay. That was the sleep deprivation talking.
Okay. So yeah, heading back to the inn you initially left from,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Are
getting
our
some
rooms
sleep.
still available?
How
yes,
long-
Sure, they're still available.
Probably just a short rest. Not short, but, just till sunrise. and get over to the
Just a 1 8 hours
keys
ish.
quickly.
Get all the things back.
Sunrise. You know we're underground.
You don't have to come, Harbeck. We're not underground. We're in a.
Where's the dwarven
We're
settlement, Brig?
He's got you there. You are underground.
We're underground.
Right, but. Fine.
Alright, so just sleeping until daybreak, and then, well, who's waking up at daybreak to go and deal with the business you have in the Dwarven settlement? Who's doing that?
Daybreak.
I'm doing that.
You gotta believe it can be daybreak.
So
Is Tavern
that
going?
everybody except
I'm gonna go
Harbeck?
with.
Harbeck has ordered
I'm
his
gonna go with
breakfast to be
Tavern
delivered
to
to
make
his
sure he actually
sleeping
gives the
self.
thing back.
He's gonna sleep, eat it, and he's gonna wake up for lunch.
Okay, that makes sense.
Do I still have the
and-
crown? I guess I have to go because I
Yeah.
have the thing.
You could
You
give
do,
the
yeah.
thing to one of us if you prefer to sleep.
I am not giving the thing to Tabarin to take back because he won't give it
He'll
back.
put it.
He'll put it on
Gimme,
first.
gimme.
That's,
I'm taking the thing. I have the thing.
Okay.
you keep the thing.
Alright. Morning comes. Harbeck is snoring. The rest of you wake up and
Do we have
find
the
yourself-
medicine? Do we have medicine? We have medicine to give the guy?
It's
got-
no. We rub
The medicine is
scale.
the skin of the beast.
Yeah, the skin. Yeah.
Oh. I have armor made of that.
Yeah.
You do.
And we have
which
the
is why
skin of it.
everybody was hugging you.
Oh. I thought
do you
they just
remember
liked
that?
me.
No.
That too.
No, I don't just like you.
No.
We needed you for something.
Alright, so it's morning time. You are served a early morning breakfast. It's delicious. You got a good night's rest. Being in a real bed. And if you'd like to, you are more than welcome to set off towards the Prince's Keep.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Shall we?
At a hurried pace.
At a hurried pace. Once
You
again,
guys, I
you
feel like
reach
we
the
should have
central.
wrapped this. Is it weird to wrap something that already belongs to someone? Yeah, that's weird. Okay,
Yeah,
never mind, carry
we're
on.
Not,
Here.
we're not giving a
Let me
gift.
put this
We're
on.
returning a
No,
lost
you
item.
can't
Don't
put
put
it
it
on.
on your head, Nima.
I have it. You can't have it.
That's Girgintius.
Oh, Gargintius. What's your name? Invent it names. Babs, Nima, whatever.
Gargantius.
Gargintius.
Okay. So you get to the outer ring of the central keep. And once again, you're stopped. The prince isn't
Hi.
accepting visitors.
But
The
we
prince
have a
needs
thing
to
that belongs to him.
Show him the crown.
We have reason to believe that the prince is ill and that we may be able to help.
We know how to help.
There's
Look.
nothing wrong with the prince. He's not accepting
Look.
visitors.
You let us in, the prince
Also, we
doesn't
have this-
die because we can save him, or
Didn't
you
show him
don't
the
let
thing.
us in and the prince dies and it's on your head. Now, I suggest you let us in.
Suggest is such a polite word for what you're doing.
This is why Harbeck stays asleep.
Wait,
These conversations make
We
him
found his
uncomfortable.
crown.
Yeah, show him the crown.
We found his crown, and we want to give it back. But I don't want to give it to you because that feels weird. Can I give it to him instead?
When the dwarven guards see the crown, their eyes go wide. They clearly recognize it.
We were in the tunnels, and there was a smelly thing. One of the big lizard... Oh, like my armor is made out of. And I found this crown. Buy it. And I think we should return it.
Wait here.
Okay.
And one of the guards hurries off in the direction of the central keep.
Harbeck rolls over on his breakfast.
You're taking breakfast by osmosis this morning, sir.
Yep.
Sometimes I wish that was actually possible. A short while later, 5 to 10 minutes, you see a large contingency of guards running out of the keep towards you. And they
Why are
seem
they
to
running?
be They seem to be accompanied by a dwarf in very fancy-looking armor.
Harbeck survives and starts
And
a new
furs.
party after you're all dead. Good work.
Oh, come now.
They're not
I
gonna
can
kill us.
take-
But
I can
I'm
take
wearing the magic shoes.
They get close to you, and the dwarf with the regal-looking armor and fancy furs and skins steps
in
out
charge.
from amongst the crowd.
Is it Thorum?
It is not Thorum.
Oh. That's too bad.
What do you know of the prince's ailment?
He was attacked by this beast whose skin we have, and we think that the skin may be the cure.
We think he's poisoned with this stink.
It's
The
slowly
beast happened
eating
to
away
smell
at his
bad, but
body.
not.
It's extremely painful.
I
Many
can-
of us here were also injured by it,
Also, I
but we're
found his.
able to reverse the effects. Babs, or Din, did you have something to say?
Oh, yeah. I could hug him and then it would make him feel better. Or we brought some more of this stuff to smear on him, and I have his crown.
He looks
Like she said.
confused. But what's with that noise?
I don't know. What's the instrument that you play with your hands?
Theremin? Somebody's
The sitar?
mic is
Theremin.
playing theremin.
Yeah, I think Babs is playing the theremin over there.
That's weird.
Tell me
I didn't
who's
do
making the
anything.
sound? It does.
Oh, it stopped. Oh, no, it didn't.
No, it hasn't. That's going to drive me crazy.
I don't know what. I don't hear it, so it's probably me, but I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how to make it stop.
The dwarf guard is hearing some weird sounds. It looks like he's distracted by something. Is that theremin music? No. He, upon sighting the crowd, like, he looks confused when you start to tell him about the creature and the hugging and all of that nonsense, but when he sees the crown, he waves away the guards and says, "Follow me."
Very well.
That's the right answer.
We follow him.
And you follow him? Okay.
I
follow.
him.
He leads you straight past, like, through the maze, the twisting corridors of the keep, which, even after having been through it a couple of times now, you still have no idea where you're going.
It's probably the theremin
and-
music that gets us confused.
Probably. You find yourself being led into a large bedchamber with a dwarf lying on a quite luscious, large bed thing. It looks like a bed of some descript. And he is in agony. Like, absolute agony, writhing around on the bed as several dwarves try to tend to his wounds.
Quick, where's the skin?
I believe that Din has it.
Gargintius,
Here. Rub this on you. Rub this on the pain.
drape it across his wounds.
Really hope this works.
The dwarves that you hand the skin to, besides looking shocked that you have this skin, clearly look like they're out of options. Like, at this point in time, you could have told them to stand in a circle and fart the Star Spangled Banner, and they would have tried it. They're at rope's end.
Wait,
right
I've
now.
got another idea to try before you try this again.
But right now, they take the skin off you and they drape it across his wounds. And he continues to writhe, but after a short while, he seems to settle down and fall into a fitful but at least a sleep.
Truth be told, we don't know much about what's happening here other than during our fight with the beast that shed that skin, we were affected similarly to the prince, and it seemed that the skin had some therapeutic effect.
An old-looking dwarf in some unusual-looking clothes inspects the wound and inspects the skin and tuts and strokes his beard and says, "This is simply fascinating. This clearly the creature has, but it's amazing." And seems to be lost for words.
It does seem to be working, right?
Yes, indeed. I suppose it makes sense, but this doesn't seem like. Not sure I'm comfortable with draping the skin of this beast over our prince, but it seems to be helping.
Well, grind it up into a salve if that makes you feel better.
Well, we have no way of knowing if that would continue to work. No, this will have to do.
I found his crown. I would like to give it back.
Yes, we also we suspect that this was the very creature that injured the prince because we found his crown shortly after we dispatched it.
I imagine so, yes. I'm sure the prince would. I don't have the authority to act on the prince's behalf, but
So we have to wait until he wakes up so I can give him back his crown?
we can take the crown. We can return it to him when he regains consciousness.
Okay.
He turns to a dwarf in some resplendent plate mail armor, and beckons him forward. Borin, take. I didn't catch your names.
I'm dead.
Gargantius. You
Imperial.
should have heard of me, at least.
Most of the time.
Take these four to the Royal Armory. See that they can take something, one of anything, with the royal jewels and so forth, off limits, of course. But they can take something as a reward for helping the prince. It's something as a thank you now, and when the prince regains his composure, he can reward them properly.
One of our companions was exhausted after our travails, and was unable to make it with us this morning.
Three of our companions.
We could take.
Can we just take 8 things from the?
It was actually a team of 47 that took the beast down, and all of them are.
We represent.
There were just 5 of us.
We represent the nation of. No, but one of our companions was unable to leave the bed this morning, still recovering from his wounds and exhaustion.
No, he was just hungover.
I take it your friend's a dwarf.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yes.
You may take an item for him as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And the dwarf who was named as Borin leads you through another labyrinthine set of passageways.
That's why I worship Brieg. He's so thoughtful.
Thoughtful. Yeah. He brings you to a large locked door. It has some kind of combination lock, and he spins some wheels and it opens up. And he leads you inside, and you find yourself in a room full of wondrous items. there are all kinds of things
Ooh,
on
a
display here. Yes, it's a cave of wonders. There are no lamps. Let's just get that out of the way to start with. There are no lamps, but there are gloves, shoes, suits of various armor in various shapes and sizes, different kinds of weapons. What is each of you keeping an eye out for? Is there anything in particular you're looking around at?
Suits of...
Is there like a belt of less squishy?
This will be my next magic item that I create. Will be a belt of less squishy. That's a thing that I'm gonna do now.
Anytime you get squished, you get slightly less squished.
Okay. So Din, you're looking for belts.
Yeah.
Okay. Tavern, what are you looking for?
Not really anything in particular. I think just take my luck and something catches my eye.
Roll a d20. Gintius, what are you looking around for?
Can I tell that things around me are super rare, or because I don't want to look for something that would be like impossible that would be here, like let's say like a dancing sword.
You can't tell if anything in particular in here has any particular magical property, not without identifying it. And you have been told to hurry, so you don't have a lot of time to peruse.
Okay,
but there are all
I'll do
sorts
the
of
D20
things.
thing then.
Okay, you're just gonna take your luck and see what pops out. All right, Breed, what are you going to do?
I feel lucky actually.
So suits of armor, studded leather armor that may catch my eye are the first thing. The second thing would be gloves. So if I don't find any armor that seems particularly exciting, then I will look for gloves.
You won't find any armor that is gnome-sized, so you're going to probably find yourself a pair of gloves. And being that you were the thoughtful one, you have a second decision to make. Are you just keeping an eye out for something that Harbeck would like?
How well do you know your worshiper?
In particular in mind?
Yeah, so now I'm trying to think. Like, being a monk, I don't think Harbeck wears armor. He already... Wait, did we get to keep the magical stein of ever-flowing beer? Because
No, it's
if
a
there's
flask.
something like that, that is definitely...
And I didn't get to keep it.
But Shadow... Yeah, so first thing that I'm looking for is beverage containers.
Okay.
Because a magical beverage container would be the best present ever.
Oh, you're so good at shopping for me.
And if there's not that, then I will look for like bracers or belts, because I think that those would be most useful for his combat skills, likely.
Okay. So... Din, you do find a belt, and it catches your eye because it's pretty. It's a woven belt, a woven leather belt, but each of the strands of leather, and there are like maybe a dozen across the length of the belt that are braided together, are all a different color. Greens, browns, blues, all very earthy, like natural colors, but they're woven together in this brilliant braid, and it's a braided belt, and it looks very, very shiny. And so, well, it doesn't look shiny because that would be like bad for you being sneaky, but it does
like
look
Firefly
pretty.
shiny. Ooh, shiny.
Yeah. Ooh, shiny. Exactly. That's where. Yeah. Okay. Tavern, you were just. Yeah, the Firefly.
A moment of silence for Firefly, everyone. Okay.
All right, that's out the way. Tavern, you were just taking your luck, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
18 is what I rolled.
You did roll an 18.
Aren't all these tables
let
at
me
D100?
just consult. Pardon?
Aren't all these tables at D100?
not the pre-generated loot list that I put together.
Okay.
An 18 on luck is that one. Sorry?
She can hear the theremin.
So does that mean it's
Oh,
not?
okay.
Your microphone's
don't
also
know.
cutting in and out. Your volume level is very random.
Because I'm trying to keep myself muted.
Okay. Right. What was I doing? Oh yeah, 18 on luck. Okay. Tavern, you find... No, actually, you wouldn't grab that one, so I'm going to go for this one. 18 was an amulet. You aren't going to pick up another amulet after picking up an amulet, are you?
No.
Okay, so... 17... yeah, that's appropriate. It's a small buckler shield, which you, like, initially you weren't interested in it. You were sort of like just looking around, picking things up. You know, you had no idea what you wanted to pick up. When you picked up this buckler shield, it felt like lightweight, like almost like weightless in your hands. Like when you picked it up, you went to like actually pick it up, and you just about threw it at the ceiling. It was that lightweight. And
Captain
so
America's shield?
you. No, it's not
Sorry.
Captain America's shield. But you do pick it up, and it when you turn it over and have a look at it, it's a steel buckler, but the surface of the shield has been polished to an almost mirror-like sheen, which may serve you for other purposes as well. Possibly.
You can.
Which makes sense for another reason.
Because now you'll be able to see yourself.
Yeah.
Right, and it's because it's convex, it'll like magnify what's reflected a little bit, so you can get a better view to do your makeup more clear. Just
Yeah.
yeah,
Or opposite.
right. It's also important.
If you use the inside of the
Also
shield, you
important.
can focus light and like burn things.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that.
you could probably do that as well. Nima, you rolled an 8, but then decided to use one of your luck re-rolls.
I don't think it's applicable now that I read it.
Yeah, it's only
It's
attacks
not
or
an
ability
attack or an
checks
ability check.
or saving throws.
Oh, okay. Cool. Can I
okay,
choose
so
to
you
use the 8?
All right, so then you got your 8 on the loot table is... What? I can't even make sense of my shorthand. Gosh, I hate when that happens. I'm trying to remember back to something that I wrote like 2 weeks ago in shorthand.
Type it into Google, I'm sure it'll know exactly what it is.
Google foo. It probably will as well, won't it? No. It's not giving me anything. I'm going to come
that's-
back to you. I'm going to come back to you because I will work it out. I just can't work it out like right now because for some reason my brain decided to just forget what those abbreviations mean.
Have
Which
a
is crazy.
censored object. It's just a bunch of pixels rearranged.
Yeah. It's you've got missing no right now.
Got 404.
Brig, you do find yourself a pair of gloves. You pick them up and they feel like really nice, soft leather gloves. Look fairly nondescript, but then like they're long gloves or long-ish gloves, probably half arm length gloves, fairly loose fitting. But when you put them on, like you notice, and you didn't see this, and when you take them back off and you put them back on, but when you put them on, you realize that there is a hidden pouch that would allow you to quite easily conceal your daggers inside the actual glove itself. And, you try it with a dagger and you put the dagger inside that little pouch, I imagine. and it doesn't feel like it's there. They just look like regular gloves.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool. You also find a stein, which is emblazoned with a bunch of dwarven runes that you don't understand. But if it's in here, it's got to be worth something, right?
A stein, you said?
A stein, like an actual large metal of some description. You're not super familiar with metals, but it's shiny.
Big stein covered in dwarven runes. This is the thing that is going to Harbeck. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. So once each of you have selected an item from the room, Borin escorts you back outside and says, if you return, or when you return, and the prince is healthy, make sure to stop by and allow him to thank you properly.
Certainly.
Will do.
And what are you going to do from there?
I'm going
Let's
to
go
give
meet
Harbeck
Harbeck.
a stein. Also, when we get back to the inn, I have a ring of identify, and I can identify all of our items and tell you exactly what they do.
But not in town, because that guy will be mad.
Oh, right. We have to leave town first, because I forgot.
You signed an agreement, Brig. You signed an agreement.
I have a suggestion that we go find some anti-venom stuff, stock up on stuff that might happen to us, just in case.
Yeah, it seems like we could be a little better prepared for our journey through the mountain next time we try it.
Just need to check something real quick.
Maybe if our
What are you-
guide had warned
what are you
us that
checking?
there were creatures of stink.
It's a good point.
Yeah, tied for highest wisdom score in the group. And I just think that's a terrible idea. we'll just wing it. Take it as it comes. I don't have any of the wise ideas. I'm gonna lose
Okay, so
wisdom points
you're going to
via roleplay.
You're going to head off and try and
some
get some
anti-venom.
supplies.
Yep.
Get some anti-venom and things. Brig, you're going to attempt to wake Harbeck up? Is that the plan?
No, I'm just gonna sit in his room until he wakes up, and then
How
it's gonna
long
be
were
like
they there?
Christmas.
If it's lunchtime.
Probably all said and done, only an hour or so.
Oh, yeah. Then I am probably asleep with like a variety of scrambled eggs all caught in the beard, like a bacon over here, tucked in.
Just a bacon. Not
Just a
multiple
well,
bacons.
most of the bacon probably found its way in while I was sleep eating, but then there's just a bacon, just like in there.
Tabron, what are you going to do?
I think I'm with Gergintius on figuring out what we can stock up to better venture through the caves. Any venoms, a map.
Okay. You two work out what you want to actually get sorted before you head out. And Din, what did you say you were doing? Nothing?
Trying on this belt and seeing if anything fancy happens, seeing if I feel less squishy when I wear it.
Okay.
She puts on the belt and
and
she goes, squish, 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 squish.
You feel significantly more fabulous.
+1 fabulosity. That's a whole stat line to your character.
Yeah, I don't think yeah, like +1 fabulosity means you are 1 fabulosity.
Which is infinitely more fabulous than anyone else because we don't even have the score.
You haven't met all the NPCs in the world. There are some pretty fabulous ones. Okay, right. So yeah, you guys work out exactly what you want to get your hands on as far as items before you set off back into the mountains. Harbeck, at some point you roll over.
Yeah, when it's
and
time
wake
for
up.
lunch,
And
I eat the bacon.
there's a
When
There is a
you
gnome.
wake up, When you wake up, Brieg walks over to you, takes the bacon out of your beard, and like hands it to you. Says,
Wow.
"I got you something."
You got me bacon. That's fantastic.
No,
You knew just what I wanted.
I got you something. I got you something better.
Better than bacon. Are you
Right,
playing a joke
so-
on me?
No, but when we returned the prince's crown, he's a bit under the weather, but one of his servants gave us an interim reward, something to tide us over until the prince is better and can reward us properly. But anyway, I got this for you, and I hold out the magical stein.
Oh, that's marvelous. That's
And-
beautiful.
Now, I'm not supposed to do this, but at the moment, it's technically mine, and I'm pretty sure that items that belong to me were not included in our agreement. Anyway, you don't worry about it. But this is what it does, and I'm going to identify ring it.
You're going to identify ring it. Okay. The stein has a moderate magical property. Harbeck, it's like on first inspection it appears to be made out of metal, but it's actually carved stone, plated with metal. And it has a great deal of heft to it. It's also incredibly solid. In fact, you're pretty sure you could hit something with this, and it would feel comfortable and right at home in your hands, and you will be proficient in the dwarven
In stein.
stein.
Yes. The stein of improvised bar brawling.
So the stein counts as a weapon. I will give you the weapon statistics for it, but it also has a enchantment magic school effect. When you... So, does Identify allow you to work out how to activate items as well? I forget. I'm sure Harbeck can work it out, but...
I think that Identify tells me how it works, but let me look. I've got a book over here somewhere that will tell me what the Identify spell does.
Yes, you check that. While you're checking that, Gintius and Tavern, exactly what are you seeking out?
I was anti-venom, definitely. I don't know anything about the other stuff.
Haven't you been through there before? Sorry, I'm not there. I won't. I won't mock you in character.
I wanted to find a map that might help us get through the cave system a little bit more smoothly, so we don't get lost.
Okay.
Spider anti-venom, because I know we encountered those and people tried to pass out. And then I wanted to ask about, describe the bugs that we saw to see if they had any information on them. What are they? Are they poisonous, dangerous? Avoid them, kill them.
Okay. You find a cartographer, but he says that if you want a map to take with you, then it's going to be both expensive and take time, because he'll have to copy out a map for you. And the work of a skilled cartographer is not cheap.
We just have an unskilled cartographer trace a map.
Okay. Gargantius.
I know what we need.
Yes.
We should get a few hefty boards to bring along with us. I'm thinking of enough so that we can cover that hole that the collapsed area had, so we can get our horses and donkeys through.
Build a bridge.
Yes,
Wasn't
that. Yeah.
Wasn't that the wrong way
Hey,
anyway?
Yeah,
I'm
that was the
probably not
wrong
there.
way.
We're
I
identifying.
don't know.
that.
Maybe
That was
we
the wrong
need
way.
it for another indescript hole that may appear in the future.
It's possible.
I'll just do the Superman when the train goes over him thing. And the horse can go. It's not a good plan.
That's
So
a terrible plan.
How did that train
And it
not
would
derail? I
result
mean,
in
he is
both-
the Man of Steel, but he's not like the right shape.
Logic fails in Superman. Okay, so anti-venom. What are you doing with the map?
I think I take a little time to study it just to see, and then maybe I will remember things and at least get us in the right direction.
Okay, you'll spend the rest of the day, or at least some time, studying the map.
Yeah.
So some anti-venom, some solid wooden planks, 10-foot length. They'll be hefty to carry, but Boozy can probably have them strapped to her and she'll be right.
Or Steed.
Just drag them.
Or Steed, yeah.
Like, they're not heavy if
Just
you
drag them
have
down.
one end on the ground.
And the big bugs.
Yeah, true. And finding out about the bugs. So the bugs are a nuisance, but they're normally very timid. In fact, do you tell people about the attack, or?
I don't think I would go into detail like that, no.
You just ask about the bugs and what they
Yeah.
look like. So the bugs are basically, they're a pest in the local area. They chew through stone. They're basically dwarven termites. Big dwarven
God.
termites, but they're basically dwarven termites. They're very timid.
Dwarven
They're not
termites, as
aggressive.
imagined by an Australian.
Yeah, Australian dwarven termites. Exactly right.
Wait.
So-
So they are absolutely deadly. They're Australian? Isn't
Yeah.
everything in your country poisonous?
Well, yes, like a lot of things, but not everything. I'm not poisonous.
The Tim Tams
All
are not
venomous.
poisonous.
Tim Tams are not. You've got them? Have you got them yet?
I had
Are they
them
coming?
2 weeks ago on Java Llama. We ate like a whole box of Tim Tams, and we used it as a straw for coffee, and it was fabulous.
It was fabulous. I told you it would be fabulous. I can't believe I missed that. That makes me sad. Right, but yeah, they're apparently non-aggressive. So you shouldn't have to worry about
Okay.
them. Which
Got
also raises the question of, why were they attacking in the first place?
Maybe they thought we were made of
And-
stones.
Maybe it's because an arrow got shot into their home.
Well, once that whole spell thing was broken, why would they not just scatter instead of just running over and eating him?
Yeah,
Let's not go back
There's
there.
more
that's the question.
play.
That's
Okay.
a good question. That's a good question. You learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. Okay, the Stein allows you to potentially confuse your enemies.
Yes.
To make use of it, you have to imbibe a fluid
I'm
and
good
then
at that.
strike an enemy with it.
Wackos.
Strike an enemy with the fluid or with the stein?
With the Stein, not with the fluid.
We just doing this. Wait 15 minutes. We'll strike you with the fluid.
That wouldn't work. It would still probably confuse them, but not magically.
But not the sort of
All right,
magical
so-
confusion we're going for.
No. So the way it works is you can imbibe a fluid, any fluid. Once the fluid has been imbibed from the Stein, it effectively has a charge. Imbibing a fluid from the Stein is a full action because you're chugging an entire beer. And even a dwarf chugging a dwarven Stein of beer in 6 seconds is pretty impressive. So yes, you basically chug a beer, and then you hit something with it. Once you've chugged a beer out of it, or any other fluid for that matter, but it would feel wrong doing it with anything that wasn't alcoholic.
There are other fluids. Come on.
Then basically the runes on the stein will glow, and the next opponent hit with the stein will have the confusion spell cast on them. I think it's called the confusion spell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I believe so.
which you can probably find in the player's handbook.
Yeah.
Tavern will be back in a minute. Okay.
I'm also going to identify my gloves so I know exactly what they do and how they work and stuff.
Okay.
So I didn't catch how many anti-venoms we got, like the script number.
It just depends on how many you wanted to buy, I suppose. They're reasonably cheap, like a couple of gold each, so I'm not gonna...
10?
Yeah, sure.
Does that sound like... Okay.
Confusion. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere.
Probably actually just the one you smacked.
Yeah. Wisdom saving throw. Can't take reactions, must roll a d10 to determine behavior, and then there's a chart. They can use all of its movement to go in a random direction. They can
Just stand there stupidly.
just do nothing. They can make a melee attack randomly, or they can be normal.
It makes a new save each turn.
Yep.
Until that goes away.
A minute though, it's like 10
interesting
rounds
is-
if they don't save.
Yeah. Interesting synergistic facts for your character specifically. You can imbibe a fluid like one of your brews.
Yeah.
So you can charge the weapon at the same time as preparing to cast a spell.
Sweet.
So, yeah. You can only have one charge active at a time, so if you're casting a spell every round and not hitting things, then it won't be super useful. In addition, it does count as a monk weapon. I'm going to allow it to count as a monk weapon because you are ultimately proficient in it, and you have probably spent more time hitting other dwarves with steins than you have hitting creatures with quarterstaves. So, I think
Is that why steins are so big and heavy? Is
Is
because when you get in a bar brawl, you just want to have like a whack'ems in your hands?
One of the reasons steins were so big and thick and heavy was because they were used as a bludgeoning tool.
That is awesome.
Like, cups were originally quite, brittle, quite thin, or, of carved wood. But when they started to be made out of things like stone and metal, they were deliberately cast a lot thicker than they needed to be, so that they would have some heft.
This holds beer and can also be used as a hammer.
Yeah.
You can hammer while you get hammered.
Yay.
But
Oh dear.
So, do I need to have any more information about my gloves and their dagger hiding abilities and anything else that they may do?
So they're called gloves of concealment, and you can hide a small or smaller weapon in each glove. Each glove has a separate interdimensional, extra-dimensional pocket, basically, which opens up into its own extra-dimensional plane of existence, which is why the daggers seemingly disappear when they're placed into those pockets. And the pockets are basically concealed from any creature who's not wearing the gloves.
Cool.
Oh, Waffle, 6 months in a row. I shouldn't be saying this during a D&D stream, but yeah, thank you, Waffle.
We're at a
Thank
break.
you.
I mean, we could
Are we?
do a break.
Yeah, let's just do a break.
It is
If you're
that
watching
time.
on YouTube's, we went to break a minute ago because I thanked a sub, and I don't do that during a D&D stream. And if you're watching on Twitch, we'll see you in like 3 minutes. Thank you, Waffle.